What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So let's talk about AMC Entertainment. We're going to talk about ticker symbol AMC. And the reason why we're going to be talking about this, right, is because it's something that we all love to talk about. We're invested in it. We want this to continue to grow, go to the moon, skyrocket. That's what it's all about, right? But I also wanted to talk about the predictions that I made this morning in the pre-market. I understand that predictions with a squeeze-like potential stock or investment or whatever you want to call it is not really going to be accurate because of the fact that it moves in such a weird way. It really defies all laws, all patterns, everything that you have going for it. So I wanted to talk about the predictions there because it kind of happened but then didn't really play out the same way, and we'll talk about those predictions. We'll talk about the price action, Ortex data, and future predictions as well. So before I get started, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button for more videos like this one, and make sure that you get your free stocks with Webull down below. Don't forget to check out some of the links in the description if you guys want to join as a member, to join the members only live streams. We do have it open for everybody to watch, but if you want to end up chatting, talking back and forth, joining the community, then all you have to do is join as a member. It's 99 cents. I make it very cheap so we can build a great community here. But let's go ahead and talk about AMC. Let's talk about the predictions that I made in the beginning. Then we can talk about the price action, or actually let's talk about the price action first, and then we can get into the predictions. So we see that in the morning, we really didn't have too much movement. It was like, I believe, less than 1%, less than 0.5% of a decrease that we've seen. It did increase a little bit, but then had less than a 0.5% of a decrease the whole entire time until it got to later in the pre-market where it dropped a little bit, then ended up riding that wave and dipping a little bit more, opening up at about 55.82, getting to a high of 56.29, and then decreasing right away. Now this, we thought this was going to be great because it was a green candlestick from the start and it looked like it was going to be huge, but it suddenly started to fall down. Now with this activity where we did not see a lot of buying activity, we're going to tell you that we probably saw a lot of shorting activity, similar to the day prior. The day prior, I said that, you know, the volume looks really low, but the activity, the way that it's falling and the way that we have a lot of buying power is just showing that they must be shorting it at a massive amount, or more than average. And I would think their average right now is around 20 to 22%. And I said that. So I was thinking that they would be shorting around 22 to 25%, which I was technically wrong, but I was also right that it would be more because it was 26%. So I would imagine that we're going to see somewhere around the same when it comes to today. And, you know, we'll check tomorrow to see if I'm right there. But we did have some stair stepping on the way down. It hit this low of $52.97. I think it went lower than that. No, $52.97, ended up increasing to where you've seen it get up to a point of $55 and then resist at those levels. I guess right before the 55.50 mark, decreased all the way down to about that 53 mark. I don't really need this line. And then now it's just looking like it did increase a little bit, but starting to consolidate more. So hopefully we can see that crossover and, you know, finish strong. But, you know, Fridays we know is not really the best day for positive moves, right? We've seen, let's say out of 10 times, we've probably seen 8 that were negative and 2 that were positive, one that was positive, one that was really break even. We really don't see a lot of positive moves in or on Friday, right? So, and we didn't see that in or on Friday. But let's talk about my predictions that I made in the beginning of the pre-market, because obviously I start streaming at like 5 in the morning. So you know that my predictions, a couple of them actually came true, where we were going to open, where the low was going to be. And this one, I said in the beginning that we would see a low of 52. And I didn't go through with that. I said, you know what, let me change that. I think it's going to be a positive day. I'm hoping it's going to be a positive day. And I said, we're going to see a low of 54. And what it's going to do is it's going to jump up and, you know, ride that wave all the way up. Now, what we did see is we seen that low here, right here of 54, and everybody thought I was right. And I was like, well, you have to let the rest of the day play out. I don't believe that's just the end of the story. So it did get to 54, ended up stair stepping on the way down, seeing a false break there, and then going down to about 53. Now you ended up seeing that increase, but it was another false break. After this large increase, seeing a false break happen that far away from the growth, it broke past the previous support level, and you're telling me that that's going to indicate a complete downward trend all the way down to 52.97. Well, got down to 52, so my initial prediction of 52 was right, but it was taken away, so I'm not going to say that I was technically right there. But the overall thought was that we would get to whatever the low is, we would get to that low, and then we would see that increase. Now, we did see that increase and continue on that slow trajectory, and then all of a sudden it resisted at 55.50, which is not even a resistance point. It's literally just a point. I don't even know when. It's just a point to where they wanted to set these walls, and they set walls, and it decreased the price a heck of a lot. Decreased it down to certain levels, maybe to get people out of, certain options, and bring it down to levels that we didn't think that we would be at, right? We thought that we would finish somewhere close to 58, which maybe we still will. You never really know how this can play out. We could see a large increase and something could happen out of nowhere. But right now, it went down to about 53, and currently it's at $54.03. The volume today is around 64 million shares worth of volume, which is not a lot, not compared to some of the other days. We would consider it a lot if it was in the beginning when we were, looking at, trading at $10 and all that stuff. Even though that's lower price, you would hope that we have more of a fluctuation in volume, which we did see those 700 million days. But now we're seeing around 100 million, which kind of makes sense as the price does increase. But then again, we've seen days where we had 200, 300, 400 million at these price ranges. It's just the fact that we're consolidating up here, and that's the reason why we are seeing it. Now, like I said, with this, we're probably going to see somewhere around 26%, short volume ratio when it comes to the amount of shares that are shorted out of this 60 million, or probably 75 million is what it's going to end at. But it's just all in all not the best day. Not the best day like I thought it was going to be. It looks like it got derailed after this slow increase like I did see. I was going to say there was a V-shaped recovery. We were going to see that recovery break back over the 200 EMA, continue on that uptrend, all of a sudden resisted at a non-resistance point, really. I guess they set some sort of wall when it comes to shorting the heck out of this thing and whatever. But yeah. Let's look at some of the data here. We're going to go into this here and look at the Ortex data. And we're going to see that short interest actually increased today. So we have short interest off of the free float of 18.7%. I guess that's good for us to see that increase. Because then it just makes our situation stronger. We know that they're not covering. We know that they have a positive borrowed change when it comes to the shorted shares, the borrowed shares, the returned shares, all of that. They returned a slight, or I guess 3 million shares, and they borrowed 3.78 million shares. Now remember, we have to take all this data with a grain of salt. We are looking at about 95.62 million shares that are shorted, compared to what they reported, on June 9th, where it was 102, and then they just reported yesterday 85. Really, they just brought that down to show a decrease and then got right back to where they were. So it's about 95.62 million short shares. Just to get back to that close to 20% short, the short volume ratio. But yeah, all in all, I think it wasn't the worst day, but it wasn't a good day. I'll tell you that. It was not a good day by any means. And I thought we would finish somewhere around that $58 mark. They would still try and keep us below 60 because that's their plan. But we've seen a lot of negative activity, some positive activity across the board, but we did see a lot of negative activity, especially when it came to AMC and GME. But we can get into GME in a whole nother situation. But AMC still holding strong. We're still looking at it as a positive. If they can continue to short, we continue to hold. That's just what it's all about. Now, this is not financial advice. This is merely just my opinion. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you thought about AMC, what you think about what's going to happen next week. I think we're going to see a good week next week. We've been seeing nothing but flat activity, especially when you see the day chart. If you actually break it down by the day, you're going to see that we are creating this little bull flag right here. And I understand it did break, consolidation here as you start to look at this consolidation, because every time you want to see a bull flag, you want to see that consolidation, but you do see a lot of consolidation there, looking to hold us at that $57 to $58 mark, really. And then you can see that we're looking to skyrocket on the way up, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you get your free stocks with Webull down below. Don't forget to check out some of the links in the description. We need to make some moves on this, but it's all dependent on what the hedge funds do. I mean, we hold the power in holding all of this and making them really lose money by what we're doing, but they hold power in the amount of time. They can go through this for weeks and months, as long as they have money, which we don't know how much money they have. So let me know what your thoughts are on this video on AMC in general. I always like to know your opinion. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next video.